Shmi Skywalker had a pretty rough life. I mean, she gave birth to a galactic hero, but her grandkids just destroyed that legacy. But what was Shmi's life like before the Phantom Menace? Not great.
You're fulfilling your destiny.
Believe it or not, Shmi actually knew freedom in her youth before pirates came to her planet and ended up taking her and her parents. Shmi was separated from her parents by the pirates, and if she knows what happened to her mom and dad, she's never said. Probably too traumatic. Because pirates don't like having extra mouths to feed, they ended up taking her to a slave market, and it smelled like human waste, hurt animals, and despair. The slavers that ran the slave auctions were known for breaking spirits and also bodies. Until the end of Shmi's life, the sound of a cracking electro whip would make her wince. Shmi was eventually sold to a gangster, Gardula the Hutt, and she ended up going to Tatooine. There, she survived being newly enslaved just by her resilience and perseverance. But while serving Gardula the Hutt, something happened. She became, mysteriously, pregnant. Claiming she hadn't slept with anyone, even though she was crammed in a building with lots of people, she eventually gave birth to a little boy named Anakin. Anakin, of course, was also sold into slavery, and as soon as he was old enough, he began working for Gardula. Not surprising, their day-to-day life wasn't great. They ended up sharing a communal area in the slave quarters, and there were 6 serfs to a building, so solitude, privacy, not a thing in their life. Despite this, Shmi thought that Anakin was special and deserved a better life, and she taught the boy to treat every stranger as if they were family. And as we can see as he grew up, he kept that lesson close to his heart. Shmi would constantly try to find ways to settle her debt with Gardula, and as luck would have it, he had a weakness. He liked making really fucking stupid bets. One day, he made a very bad pod racing bet and ended up losing Shmi and Anakin to Watto. This actually turned out great for the Skywalkers. Despite still being slaves, they were Watto's only slaves, and now got their own home on the outskirts of Mos Espa Spaceport in Slave Quarters Row. Though the home was originally built for migrant workers and the homes weren't designed for longevity. In fact, frequent sandstorms had been slowly destroying the homes. They didn't really care because compared to living in a single room building with 6 other people, it was a palace. At Watto's junk shop, while Watto wasn't a very kind master, he did give them privileges that they didn't have under Gardula. Yeah, they worked long and hard hours cleaning and repairing the items and devices that came to Watto's shop, but he also allowed Anakin to go home early if he finished his work, and Shmi was allowed to work at her own private workstation for certain duties. It was soon found that Anakin had an aptitude for mechanical engineering, and he started making Watto a shit ton of money with his creating and repairing of droids. He became such an expert at it that he became invaluable to Watto. Watto also really likes money, so makes sense. Anakin also began to collect scraps to build a protocol droid, hoping that it could take some of the workload from his mother, and when they were finally free, it could allow them to travel the galaxy and be understood everywhere by anyone. At night, Shmi would tell Anakin fantastical tales of Jedi Knights and young people that rose above their circumstances to do more in life. When she was too tired from work, Anakin was the one that would tell her stories, such as angels from far-off moons and other weird tales from space pilots as they came through Watto's junk shop. So, Shmi and Anakin had a decent life with Watto. They had a nice home. They were working towards settling their debt. But then, at the age of 9, a baby snatcher came, and everything changed.